What's up, homies? My name is Matt Lurker and welcome to the channel. I don't know if you guys are confused about investing right now, but it's been a wild week. Companies are posting record profits, Ethereum is up 350%, we've got concerns about inflation, and Elon Musk is the Doge king. Today I plan on sharing a little bit of the subject and helping you guys understand.
Yeah, sorry guys, I can't spend all day in an office. But the world is kind of crazy right now, and out here it smells like skunk. Trump 2024, right? But the world is crazy right now. Ethereum is up 350% right now, which is a cryptocurrency, for those of you who are not familiar with that. Oh. Okay, that was weird. Thanks for trying to kill me. I'll be honest, I was not confident in my brakes back there. It's kind of an old bike. Got my wife on the back right now, and the brakes could use a little bit of love. I'll not lie. They're not awful. They definitely still work, obviously. But anyway, Ethereum's up 350%. The ARK Invest Innovation ETF is down 10% right now. A lot of stocks are down, and especially stocks that had a great first quarter in 2021. One thing that's driving a lot of people nuts right now is just these crazy earnings reports that we're seeing. But we're not seeing the stocks actually rise in value in relation to that. And so just for example, Apple had a fantastic first quarter this year. They're phenomenal first quarter. Their sales were through the roof, and I honestly expect them to continue that for the second and third quarters, at least for this year. It seems like the M1 MacBook Pro in that chip, now in the iPad Pro, it's a home run for them. A couple other companies also had just fantastic earnings reports, but their stock prices are down. And now today, Thursday, it is a little bit of a different story. A lot of stocks had a little bit of a run today. But just over the past quarter, and then just this past week as well, we've had a lot of companies announce great earnings, fueled by stimulus and some other things, but their stock prices are just down. Take this a little easier. Scared me a little bit. There we go. Look at that view, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't love where I live, but I do love this. There's plenty of things that I'm not in love with about Utah, but man, it's nice to get out on this canyon. It's hard to beat. Okay, this kind of ruins my plans for today's video. You guys see that U-turn? Name one other person that can do a U-turn like that. Take a little break here. Alright, new plan. We'll just talk on the way back. So here's the deal, guys. A lot of people are just concerned about inflation. That's kind of the big topic that's on everybody's mind. And that's kind of the thing that, if you're investing in stocks right now, is the biggest deterrent to putting in more money. Because everyone's wondering, like, are we in a bubble? Are we going to see more returns? Because we've had a great run. The past really 3 years have just been fantastic as far as stock performance goes. Right now, though, the big concern for everyone is just, will inflation destroy the value of these stocks that we have? Because as inflation goes up, the value of stock prices will fall. And especially right now in the digital age where everyone is a retail investor and everyone is so tuned in to financial news and new topics that are being discussed. You can have one bad piece of news that comes out and a stock price will plummet 5-10% in a day. One good piece of news and it shoots up another 5 or 10%. It's a little bit ridiculous here. But stock prices have become very volatile in this digital age, whether for the good or for the bad. That's just how it is now. And the reality of the situation is, yes, we are going to see some inflation. Anyone who says we're not going to see inflation, they're really just trying to keep the peace. That's what Janet Yellen is doing right now. On Wednesday of this week, in the morning, she said that the Federal Reserve expects to see some inflation and that in response to that, they may raise interest rates. Later that day, and I kid you not, it was later that day, stock prices had already taken such a huge hit because investors were just worried about what was going to happen, that she announced that the Fed does not intend to raise interest rates. Even though just earlier that day she said it may be a possibility. But we are going to see inflation, and I'll tell you where it's coming from. We spent too much. We have stimulated the economy too much in the wrong places. We gave stimulus checks to people who still had jobs and who didn't need them. And now more bills are being discussed about whether or not we should spend more money, whether or not there's going to be more stimulus checks, whether or not we're going to continue to have raised unemployment checks going out to people. And guys, at the height of the pandemic, we had unemployment benefits with an extra $600 a week going to people. I literally knew people who quit their jobs and just collected unemployment checks because they were making more on unemployment. And right now the Fed says that we're not seeing a worrisome amount of inflation. They don't expect to have a worrisome amount of inflation. But anyone who's actually going to the grocery store right now knows that prices of goods are increasing. Gas prices are going up, grocery prices are going up. The world has already been going through a chip shortage, and now we've got a chicken shortage. Like, this is at the height of the spicy chicken sandwich frenzy. Like, what a time to be alive. And now the chicken is just being taken away from us. It's just brutal what's going on. I'm speeding just a little bit, but this is filmed in Mexico, so don't sue me. So as we continue to see higher rates of inflation, what are investors going to do? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to keep going to things like Dogecoin. We're going to keep going to things like Ethereum and Bitcoin. As stock prices fall, investors will look for another asset class that will still give them a return on their money. And that's why Ethereum has had such a great run this year. Ether's up 350% because investors have been worried about our stock portfolio that hasn't been performing as well as we would have liked. And so we're putting our money into other places that we hope is going to pay off. And no one knows what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe the US bans all cryptocurrency, and I don't see that happening, but no one knows what's going to happen in the future. So investors are looking for anything. Pokemon cards, baseball cards, cryptocurrency, anything that's going to get them a return on their money. And by the way, everyone thinking Dogecoin's going to hit $1, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do with their money, but I would not be surprised at all if after Elon Musk hosts Saturday Night Live this weekend, sometime around then, Dogecoin's going to hit $1. And I don't believe in Dogecoin long term because, let's face facts, anyone who actually understands Dogecoin, we know that there can be an unlimited supply of coins. And as the supply raises, the value of Dogecoin will drop. That's just how it works. That's supply and demand. For the price of Dogecoin to actually remain high or remain at $1, people would have to continue pumping more and more money into it over time. We can't just keep the same amount of money in Dogecoin. We'd have to have new investors buying in, or investors buying more coins to keep pushing up that value of Dogecoin. Otherwise, it's going to deflate its own value just because more people are going to be mining more coins. So for anybody thinking that they're going to invest in Dogecoin long term and it's going to become some actual recognized currency, I'll tell you right now, you've got something to be afraid of. And I'm all for a good pump and dump, you know, as long as you know you can time the market. But at this point, with Dogecoin hovering around 65, 70 cents, I would just be very careful if that's something you're trying to get into right now, because I would expect to see quite a significant drop in the value of one Dogecoin shortly after Saturday Night Live airs. We're going to see a spike around that time, and then within a week, I would bet some money that that price is going to drop. Anyway, what should you do with your money? Here's what I would do, and here's what I'm going to do. Stocks are probably going to underperform for the next 6 months or so. And I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't really know what's going to happen. But inflation will continue to rise. But you know what the Federal Reserve is going to do? They're going to manage it. They're going to raise interest rates. I know they said they're not going to, but they're going to. So the Fed's going to raise interest rates, and they're going to help manage inflation in that way. And hopefully we don't have another just overzealous stimulus package trying to stimulate the already very stimulated economy. Because I'll tell you what, once you stimulate something too much, it's not stimulating anymore. So over the next 6 months, I would bet that cryptocurrency is going to outperform stocks. And you don't have to be a genius to think that that might happen. Like, it's not a far off bet. And yes, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, it is cyclical, and we will see a decline in Bitcoin at some point. It's going to have a crash, it's going to have another big rally. But if I were you, and again, this is not investment advice, right now I would be putting my money into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum. As more brokerages allow you to actually own Bitcoin and Ethereum, and as it becomes more available on different platforms, the price is going to rise significantly. And so that's where I'll be putting my money for the next 6 months or so. And then after that, I'll continue to put some money into cryptocurrency for sure. I believe in it long term. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum have a place in this world. After that, though, I think people will mostly be over their fears of inflation. I think the Federal Reserve will have managed it enough with some small raises in interest rates. And I expect stocks to continue to perform well. We've gotten a lot of stimulus, and some of it still needs to be spent. Not all that money has been spent, and I expect that we will continue to see high sales for a lot of these companies. I think that it would be a smart investment for someone to be considering what is going to be making money in a year. What is going to be receiving free money or some sort of subsidy from the government in a year. I think that's going to be green energy companies. So I think right now is a great time to be getting into some of these companies that are going to be receiving stimulus money. As the new infrastructure package gets passed by Congress and that gets rolled out, that money is going to be spent, grants are going to be given out, and I think that we can expect a huge rally in green companies. So that's my bet, and if I'm wrong, I'll take my losses, and if I'm right, then I guess I won't take some losses. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Let me know what your thoughts are on these topics. Love you guys. Catch you next time.